Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Elias here with Weekly Wrestling Heat. We're back with another episode. It's a two-man crew this week. Our boy Matt was unable to join us today, but he'll be back next week with another episode. Um, Welcome everybody. We had another fun-filled episode of Weekly Wrestling Heat where we're going to talk this week's action in wrestling,
And we got a pay-per-view on Sunday.
and we also have a pay-per-view on Sunday. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I did too. Until I read how bad Peacock is fucking everything up right now.
It ain't that bad. I subscribed and I went in there and it wasn't bad.
I think the main problem you're gonna have is the latecomers. You know, the people that are gonna be like that try to get in 2 hours into a pay-per-view and then start it over. You know,
Yeah.
so that's gonna be a problem if it's not like the network where I have to wait for it to end and then watch it again. You know.
Yeah, that's the only thing that is going to possibly affect it, but I don't think it's going to really affect it in a negative manner. It's going to take a minute for it to actually, get transferred over because as with anything, especially me being in IT, when you're dealing with data transfers, they have to pull all the records and put them on there and work with the developers to get everything in there and set up and ready to go. So it's like one of those things that could take a minute, could take a couple of months, weeks. That just depends on exactly what you're looking at. So
So that was the
I
first
have high
news.
hopes.
First news: Peacock took over officially today.
Yeah,
You said you have high hopes for it though, right?
I have high hopes for it because of the fact that it's actually integrated with something else, and you get more for your buck in a sense. So not only do you get WWE, you get shows that are not even on other networks anymore, movies, everything. So I think it's a good thing for them to do. It was a good move. It'll come together eventually. Even when WWE Network started, it was still like a couple of there were still kinks and kikos that people complained about. So
Yeah.
uh, let's
Second
get
bit of
into the
news.
news right quick.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were already in. My bad. Second piece of news is AEW Revolution 125 pay-per-view buys. So, how do we feel about that? I was hoping that, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I didn't mean I was hoping it would fail. I was hoping that the numbers would get lower, so they would go to like a subscription-based thing on Bleacher Report, or maybe like $20 a month, and you get like all the pay-per-views or something. You know?
So interesting thing about it, when you think about it, it's not bad because pay per views on wrestling is kind of dead
Oh
in a
yeah, it's
sense.
it's the AEW record. 125 to record. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it being that WWE used to be the king of pay per views when it came down to wrestling, ever since they switched to the subscription based stuff, AEW is the new king of pay per view records right now.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It means that the audience is growing. They did do the hype, even though it kind of was kind of the ending was kind of botchy, but it is what it is. Congrats. It's a good thing. It's a good move for them. So second set of news: Eric Bischoff is the second person. I think second or third person going into the WWE class of
Him
second
and
person
Molly
of
Holly
the
so far. Yeah.
WWE second class of the 2021 WWE Hall of Fame. People like Triple H and others, John Bradshaw Layfield, Jim Ross, Bully Ray, Garrett Bischoff, Jeff Jarrett, Drake Maverick, Lex Luger. The list goes on, and Mick Foley, Taz, congratulating Eric Bischoff on a well-deserved thing. As much as we crap on the WWE Hall of Fame, it's great to be able to honor these guys, these people that have given so much to the industry. So I think it's a good thing. Um, uh,
Yeah, totally agree.
Next,
He well deserves it. Um, Next news is Andrade was denied his release, like we talked about in our group chat. Where do you think this? I still have a feeling somehow that this is going to incorporate with Charlotte Flair storyline.
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I have, um, I don't know. It's one of those things that you kind of like. You're kind of sad to see because Andrade is a great talent, and he's awesome, of course. But you get kind of sad to see when people get stuck in situations like that. Like you don't usually want to see your favorite wrestler in a limbo. So it's kind of sad, but at the same time, I hope that they do what's best for him, not what's best for the company. I hope that if they don't keep him in main roster, they give him something to do in NXT at least. You saw Finn Balor go back down. You saw Ember Moon go back down, and they've had good success down there. So it would be cool to see Andrade back, even if he like saying he aligns himself with Legado del Fantasma or something like that. I think it would be good to see something like that happen.
So
But I'm hoping for.
I was listening to someone. I don't remember who it is, so I can't give them credit, unfortunately. But they said, what if you got Aleister Black, Andrade, and Mojo, and sent them down to NXT, and then it's basically Retribution, but good. You know,
Yeah,
like we couldn't get our time, so we're back here to dominate or something. You know, and then you have Mojo paired up with whoever the fourth guy is, because Mojo was the tag team specialist. And then Andrade could go for the main title, and Aleister could go for the U.S. title, or vice versa. You know.
yeah.
So I think that
No,
would
I
be
think it's a.
good idea, and then you can
I
send
think
one of the women down there too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the that WWE's main TV is so saturated that you don't have space for everybody, and you kind of want to see everybody in there. So I think it's kind of one of those things that Paul Heyman had as people that he was trying to push, and then when that didn't happen, it kind of like killed it for them. So they ended up just getting stuck in limbo, which sucks because Aleister Black was a great talent. Um, Andrade, of course, and other people that like they called up Santana Garrett, they called up Chelsea Green, they called up Vanessa Bourne, and you don't see those talents, so you want to see them online and you want to see them on TV. So we'll see what happens with that.
And
Hopefully, we get to see them back on
the
TV.
only person it really worked out for was Bobby Lashley. That was the only push that kept going, technically.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Braun is a joke right now. Aleister and Andrade, we don't even know where the hell they are. Which Aleister's on SmackDown, so I don't know why Paul Heyman's writing SmackDown. I don't know what's going on there.
I think that's a. I think let's. I don't. I hate to speculate because I don't like speculating, but I think that the Aleister Black thing has to do with Zelina Vega, and it kind of sucks because he's basically going through getting punished for his wife's thing. I don't want to say that's it, but I mean that's the only thing I could think of when it comes down to Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's get into a little bit recap of Raw. Wasn't really much that happened this Monday on Raw. We saw Alexa Bliss challenge for the actual challenge Randy Orton for a match at Fastlane, which is pretty interesting. I don't know exactly what to say about that, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to set up for the Fiend to
It's
come
gonna be
back on.
pre-recorded, probably, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, maybe. Or unless it's live. Well, it nine times out of
There's
10,
no
it's
crowd, so we won't even know. Yeah.
yeah. So which
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm not excited for Fastlane. I think I'm just ready for WrestleMania. To be honest with you,
Dude, I think Rod Geary said it best. They should call it speed bump. That's what it feels like, or roadblock. You know, like it's literally just in the way. Like we're getting Shane and Braun, which now I'm hearing the match is canceled again. So I don't know what's going on. That whole storyline is stupid to me. Like no pun intended, I guess, because that's what the storyline's built on. I
don't get it though. I was kind of pissed. I'm kind of mad because they kind of buried Braun on live TV, and it kind of made him look like weak.
It made him look stupid.
Especially, yeah, like even after even like I think what the key point that kind of turned me off from it was when Shane poured the slime on him, and I was like what?
Dude,
So it's like it.
Braun gets nothing out of his feud. Even if he wins, you're expected to win, and if
Yeah.
he loses, you look even worse.
I mean,
And
not to take anything away from Shane, because Shane's a good performer, but this whole storyline between both of them is kind of stupid. I thought, if it turned into a WrestleMania match, I would understand,
I
but
think that's where it's
you know,
going.
I would hope not, because I was done with the storyline Monday, so it's like,
well, let me throw a little Moisesism out there for you. Let me book this for you. Shane McMahon's getting destroyed at Fastlane or the next Raw after canceling this match. Keith Lee comes out as Shane McMahon's muscle, and that's the Mania match.
I could see that. Then if there's a payoff to it, then I wouldn't mind seeing it. But if there's no payoff, then
Keith Lee's name on Twitter, he changed it. Did you see that? It's Impatient Keith Lee now.
Huh.
Yeah. So I think that would be cool.
What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, to a question to our viewers, what do you think? Whoever's watching, what do you think this whole thing with Shane and Braun Strowman is happening? Leave your comment, and we'll go back to it. How do you feel about New Day winning the titles from the Hurt Business? Do you think it was too quick, or do you think they have something, since they want to push AJ and Omos? Do you think that it's something that they want to do a face team versus a heel team?
It was a good match. I would have held it till Fastlane because the Fastlane card really blah.
Yeah.
But I want the Hurt Business. I want all of them on Mania. So if you can make this a triple threat tag team match, I'm okay with that. If not, Kofi, Xavier, and AJ are going to teach Amos so much in the ring that it might be really good for Amos for this to be his spot.
And here's the thing: the build up to it with Omos and AJ, comparing them up with the New Day, I think it's a good pairing. Being that they're putting him with experienced veterans and people that can actually do that. Angel said it best. Have they said it's from babyface to heel, or can't tell? Hope Shane is okay since it's not on the card anymore, supposedly. I don't know. That I think that might have. I think that bump that he took with the table might have hurt Shane a little bit more than we led on to be. But we'll see. Anyways, going back to the subject, I think that I'm intrigued to see the build to this match, because we only have 3 weeks away.
Yeah,
literally 2 weeks actually after this Sunday.
Yeah, we're gonna have 2 more episodes of Raw, and that's gonna be Mania the week of April 10th. So
yeah,
I don't know where they're going with this. I don't think you'd have almost lose his first match. So if it's just transitional champions, I'm kind of irritated at that too, because we just had that with the Miz.
Yeah, it kind of irritates your soul in a sense. Talking about it, Bad Bunny relinquished the title to R-Truth, which I liked in a sense.
I think it doesn't crapped on it, but I thought it was good. You got the title on SNL. You got the Grammy pop. Like, you got everything you wanted. Really quick, is there some way we can get Angel on when we go into AEW? I don't know if Angel's still watching. Angel, if you want to come on when we start talking about AEW, we'll send you the link. Just shoot one of us a DM. But yeah, so that's pretty cool stuff. What else happened on Raw? I don't think anything else noteworthy happened. Oh, that Sheamus and Drew McIntyre match from 2 weeks ago, I really liked.
Yes, I did like that one too.
Recap with Matt, but yeah, it was a really good match. Sheamus is doing really good work.
Actually, the underrated segment that I kind of wanted to talk about on this one before we moved on, Asuka versus Shayna Baszler. Asuka,
I forgot about that too. Oh yeah,
Asuka's I'm really I really like this side of Asuka, which I think they're gonna try to turn her back to NXT Asuka. That I don't care, that I'm gonna beat your butt, all kind of Asuka. So I think that's a good thing that they're doing with her. Which I think it will pay dividends in the end if they turn her back to that, because it turns her back to that dangerous, that win that undefeated streak, Asuka. Which if I don't know who they're going to put her against, which I hope it's not Charlotte, but it looks like it. I think Asuka could get retribution on that loss that she took against Charlotte at WrestleMania a couple of years ago.
Man, I love it. That curb stomp spot was gonna look dirt. I loved how the referee had to stop it. The thing with Asuka and even guys like Keith Lee and Braun, it's what I always say: keep it simple, stupid. You don't gotta overbook these talents. Like they're all killers.
Yeah, you don't. No, you don't.
Same-
And it's good to
when
see.
they had him knocking on the door. I don't know why they did that. Just have him kill people.
I think you cut off there for a second.
Oh yeah. So I was saying it's the same thing they did with Aleister Black. Like they had him killing people and then he started knocking on random doors. That was so unneeded.
Yeah.
Just keep him killing everyone. Anything else on Raw you want to touch on? Because there's a lot I actually want to touch on SmackDown.
No, that's it. I think Raw show was a little bit better. Kind of a letdown for a go home show for pay-per-view week, but it is what it is. I think
Bobby's looking good.
Yeah, Bobby is looking great. I want to see him more on there. So I'm excited to see what more is next with that. So anyways, let's talk about SmackDown right quick. I'm kind of in the midst of being in the middle, whether I like or dislike this whole feud with Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Edge.
I feel like it can go many ways. Like I really feel like Daniel Bryan's Pete Dunne challenger on NXT. I really feel like it. I feel like it's Daniel Bryan or Tyler Bate. Like I for sure feel like that's what's happening at Mania Takeover. But
yeah,
I don't want Bryan going into that with a loss, but it's on his bucket list to fight Pete Dunne. So I don't know how I feel about it either. I know the Roman and Daniel Bryan match is going to be great. Like both of the guys are at top levels right now. It just makes Edge feel like an afterthought, which I'm not really a fan of, unless he becomes a guest enforcer if he wins on Friday.
Well, yeah. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen tomorrow on SmackDown. To see what happens. I think Edge wins and he is the special enforcer, but I think he's going to screw Daniel Bryan over if that happens. Either way, whoever wins, I think they're getting screwed over unless they're going to swerve us and Daniel Bryan's going to win the title and then we're going to get Daniel Bryan versus Edge at WrestleMania. Then either way, I think we see a payoff with everything going on right now with that SmackDown storyline. What do
Roman at Mania then?
That's a good question. Unless this is going to turn into a triple threat match at WrestleMania, I don't see anything else coming from it. I think he'll probably be in. It would be interesting to see him team up with Jey Uso. I think that's Jey Uso. Yeah, Jey Uso. And go after the tag team titles, or they're probably going to put him in another storyline with somebody else. Which probably I wouldn't mind seeing another match between him and Kevin Owens, but that's happened too many times already.
I think this is way too early for it. I would love to see Big E beat Apollo, Roman lose the title, and Roman challenge Big E for the IC title.
That could be a good match in the making as well, if you think about it, because when you look at it,
you can't do it in 2 weeks.
No, this is. I mean,
it's been kind of Smack, but I don't think enough people are watching Talking Smack.
Yeah, no, Talking Smack has been great these past couple of weeks. I've been enjoying it. So, I'm really excited for the Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair match. I think they're building it correctly. I think this is one of the first storylines that I could actually say I've been intrigued in for the women on SmackDown in a while. I'm not a fan of Reginald with Nia and Shayna.
I'm a fan of it over Sasha. I think Sasha and Bianca, you just tell them to go out there and put on a 5-star match, and they'll do it. I don't think outside you don't need anything. And speaking of 5-star matches, Cesaro and Seth Rollins, if that's where we're going, I would love it. I think I do think Seth Rollins will win at Mania, but I think Cesaro will get it back because Seth Rollins lost last year.
I don't know. I think Seth Rollins might actually take the L on this one because they're trying to push Cesaro. So it's like,
or if it's you resign, so let us give you a Mania payday.
I don't know. That's a good question because I'm still like I'm still on the fence on that because I want them to push Cesaro because he's a great talent. He's good in the ring. He's improved on the mic and his charisma is like high. But I don't know. I really do hope that they have something planned for him because I would like to see him at least with an IC title run or even a freaking universal. I mean, not universal, but World Heavyweight Championship run. I think he deserves that at least, and before he leaves or retires.
How do you feel about Seth Rollins right now? Are you liking it? Are you hating it? Because it's 50-50 from everything I'm reading.
It's 50-50. I kind of wish he would go back to the Kingslayer gimmick. I didn't really I liked the this new Messiah gimmick, but right now he's like trying to mix it, so it's kind of like maybe not. So it's like one of those.
Yeah. He's dressing really good.
Oh yeah, no, his gear game is on point. Even his
and MVP and Bobby Lashley are killing it with their outfits lately.
Suit game.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and the Apollo thing. The last thing we'll touch on SmackDown. We got a total line on this because we don't want to offend anyone. So we have. I don't even know how I'm going to put this. So in our group chat, we have one person of color. When I say person of color, I mean African American. I'm a person of color as well, so do I. But one person who really feels like they can resonate with the storyline. At first, they said they hated it, but then when I told them go back and watch Apollo on the Indies, they kind of like turned their tune on it because it's what Apollo was doing on the Indies.
Yeah.
So I like the Apollo storyline. I feel like it gives him more time on the mic every week. I feel like him and Big E's perfect. I just don't want to see him lose. That's the thing.
I think we might actually see him win the IC title though. I think they're really high on him in a sense because
right now that's the thing.
Well, what if Big E loses the IC title and then goes for the rematch at WrestleMania to get it back? Or what if I don't know. But or what if Big E loses and then goes after the World Heavyweight title and then it clashes with Roman Reigns to the point where the winner of that match gets a title shot.
I would be okay with that if they go this way. If you have Apollo win at or if you have Apollo lose at Fastlane, then you do the 6-man ladder match or whatever you do with the IC title every year. Have Big E lose in the ladder match. It's not like Big E took the L. And then have Big E just be like, yo, I've got other things I have my mind set on. Let me talk to you, Paul Heyman, because of all their Talking Smack history.
What up, Stefan?
I would like it if they went that way with it.
Yeah, I think I could see plenty of opportunities with that, and I would be interested to see exactly what would happen with that. I'm not. I'm
O'Brien at the January pay-per-view and do the Big E Roman stuff. Start to build there,
Yeah.
Or not January. Sorry, the May pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll see where it goes. I'm really liking that they're letting him be himself in a sense. On more, so they're giving him more mic time. They're letting him be him. So I'm pretty happy about it. I'm just SmackDown right now is a world of possibilities with these matches, and you have a lot of dream matches that you want to see. So we'll see. question. Well, I think we should save this one for WrestleMania week. But do you think Edge might win the title at WrestleMania? Just sit that and marinate. Just let it marinate, and we'll see what happens.
Man,
But
I
anyways,
just
let's go.
there's so many people I don't want to take an L right now. That's the thing.
No, I agree because it's so many great talents out there right now. All right, let's get into NXT. So NXT was a little different this week. You didn't see a lot of the usual faces that you'll see due to some unfortunate circumstance. We're not going to talk about it. But for the show to have been completely rewritten in 48 hours, I think they did a great job at doing it. I enjoyed the stare down, or the segment between Finn Balor and Karrion Kross.
Let's get into
Scarlett.
result by result. You want to get into result by result? Because we'll cover NXT and AEW like that.
I'm down. So we start off NXT with Finn Balor and Karrion Kross coming face to face. Scarlett, awesome on the mic. Hops on, says she has foreseen both men draped in gold, basically saying, kind of hinting at the NXT Tag Team Championships. Only Larkin, Danny Burch come out, and they start basically trying to talk their boy Pete Dunne up, saying that he should be facing Pete Dunne, that Finn Balor should be facing Pete Dunne, not Karrion Kross. And then Scarlett basically goaded them into defending the titles later on. I thought it was a good segment. I thought that both guys delivered. And having Danny Burch and O'Leary could come out, talk up, and to put over Pete Dunne was a great
bad thing. On the mic. Oh my god! I thought Scorpio Sky was bad on the mic, but they redeemed it this week. I thought, but Oni, oh no. I don't want him near a microphone. Let Danny Burch talk. Let Pete Dunne talk. Let McAfee pre-record a promo. I don't care. But these guys don't need mics.
So, so then we get into Dexter Lumis versus Austin Theory, which I think was a pretty solid match. You saw good things from both of them. Man, Dexter Lumis is an interesting character in my opinion.
Austin Theory has been my favorite wrestler the last month. Just with everything he's doing, like all around, like he's hilarious. They have him playing this meathead character that's just making these stupid ass jokes that I think are funny as hell. In the middle of this match, Dexter Lumis helped him up. And he's like, see, I knew it. You loved me. And then he got caught in the silencer and ended up tapping. But this match, I think, because of the rewrite, went longer than it was supposed to go. And I think it made both men look like money in that fact.
Yeah, no, I agree. You could tell that you saw a lot of potential in both of them. I kind of like that Lumis won the match. And I'm interested to see what the storyline is going to, because you already know that whatchamacallit, I forgot her name. No, the girl.
Gargano?
Not Candice. Not Indy. Indy has this thing going on, like this crush on Dexter Lumis. So I'm interested to see where it's gonna go from there. I see pretty good things coming up. I think they're gonna probably end up having something happen between here and the NXT takeover. So we might see. I'm more interested to see what's gonna happen with that one.
I think we're gonna get Dexter and Johnny, and I think we're gonna get Indy and Candice versus Shotzi and Ember.
I could see that. So, let's talk about my favorite segment of the night: Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly.
Are we combining both segments? Would that be better?
Yeah, both segments. The one in the ring and then the one where they got arrested.
Oh God. Okay, let's do it. I love the fire. I love the fire from all three. Even William Regal. I love the fire involved from all three parties. It sucks that Roddy and Bobby Fish are kind of afterthoughts in this. I think it will lead to a loser leaves NXT match. Probably a loser leaves NXT parking lot brawl or street fight or something. And I think Adam Cole will go up, and I think Kyle O'Reilly will stay in NXT. Yeah.
I don't want that to happen,
What
but
for Adam Cole to do?
yeah, you're right. He's a Grand Slam champion in NXT, so it's like, so I can see that happening.
Yeah,
the world title twice. He had the North American Championship, and he was tag team champion. So
yeah,
I can see that, and like I said, I'm interested to see if they're gonna do a kind of like ROH style like match that they had back then. Like, because I watched the matches when they were in ROH going against each other, when Adam Cole was part of the Kingdom, and him and Kyle O'Reilly was with Bobby Fish as a tag team. I can see that happening, and I'm excited if they're able to recreate that specific match, something at that capacity. I think everybody's gonna be real happy with the payoff.
So I'm on the opposite end. I don't want to see what we saw in ROH. I want to see what we saw between Velveteen and Adam Cole. I want to see that parking lot gimmick. Because you had him try to run him off the road, I want to see like a parking lot street fight. There's not going to be any fans at the Takeover Mania, so I feel like you need to have some pre-produced stuff. You could do it with the Lumis and Gargano match, but I think they're both. I think that story's got enough going on the outside with Theory and Indy that you don't have to do that. I feel like Cole and O'Reilly, I feel like with a street fight, you just have them go out there, basically just try to kill one another. And hopefully at least Adam Cole being called up the following Monday. But what I would want is the following Friday.
Yeah, I would want to see Adam Cole on SmackDown instead of Raw, because they already have too much star power on Raw that they're not using correctly. So if Adam Cole goes to Raw, he'll go down in the mix, in the jumble.
So quick side note, let me ask you this question. Is it time for NXT to start getting talent in the draft? Because there's so many names that we mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, like Alistair, Mojo, Andrade, just floating around. Titus.
I think it's time for WWE to I really think it's time for WWE to actually consider NXT the third brand officially.
If you send a guy like Titus down there, have him put over a Bronson Reed and LA Knight, like it would really help, I think, because Titus has been with the company so long, he can still do his outside of the ring stuff. You know, like I think he'd be a good leader for that locker room.
Yeah, no, and I think that the guys are already have a good leader with the veterans that they do have. Finn Balor, Harry, and Adam.
Leaving, right? That's how I'm looking at it. Adam Cole and Karrion Kross are both going to get called up pretty soon. We can both agree.
So yeah, I think so. So and then we go back in. Yeah, and then we go to the to when they got pulled over and they were getting arrested. I think it added a little kind of like a little topping to that storyline that added the interest of seeing how bad things are going to get with them too. So I mean, like I said, I'm excited to see exactly what's going to happen. And I'm expecting their match at Takeover to be a hard hitting. They're going to try to kill each other match because they stopped
main event night 1 with it.
Yeah, and then you can main event night 2 with the actual Karrion Kross versus Finn Balor. Yeah. Then we get into Legado Fantasma defeating Breezango. And then you got Jordan Devlin coming out and confronting Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar is money on the mic.
Okay, so Elias, I'm gonna cater to your wet dream here. You call up Escobar after he loses this title. You let Legado stay down there. You have a backstage segment where basically Humberto, Angel, and Andrade are all in catering. And Santos just goes back there and says, "What the hell are you guys doing?"
I don't think it will work.
Let me tell you where I think this is going, okay? Or how I can see this going. Bobby Lashley, we're not saying it's out of the possibility of becoming a face after Mania with the crowd reaction he might get, right?
Yeah.
So you turn to Hurt Business face. You got these four. Also, you got the the 4 LWO like you like, you could do something there.
I could tell you why it won't work, because you have two alphas in the group. You'll have Santos and you'll have Andrade. So
you can have Santos go for the U.S. title, or Andrade and Matt Riddle have they faced off before?
Andrade, Matt Riddle, I think so. I don't remember. I need to look it up.
That would be a banger with either of those guys against Matt Riddle.
Like I said, I think it has a possibility of working. It's just two alphas in a group is kind of like it kind of brings you back to like the Shield days in a sense, because you have three alphas in the group, but they knew exactly how to distinguish each other from.
You would have to book it correctly. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you have to book it correctly, because if not, it could lead to pure chaos. And eventually you're gonna have to get one to turn on the other to do a face turn, or to separate them from the group.
I at this point, I'm like, why not pair Angel and Humberto? Your tag team division's garbage as it is. Humberto's looking jacked. Did you see his Instagram picture?
Yeah, he's gotten in shape. He's gotten a little swole. But anyways, I'm actually excited I'm actually excited to see Devlin and Santos Escobar, because I think that match is gonna be nice.
Do you put a let's talk about, or do you do normal?
Huh?
Do you put a stipulation like have both titles hanging in a ladder match or something? Like,
I think that's what it's gonna lead to, but I would like to see a straight one-on-one match between these two.
So I think Devlin should win. I think Escobar will win, just because UK is really pushing that the title that A-Kid has. They're really pushing that is it called British
Heritage Cup?
The Heritage Cup a lot. Yeah. They're pushing that pretty
heavy. No, because you gotta think about it. They still they did the weigh-ins on the bump between Devlin and what's his name, Mustache Man and guy?
Trent Seven.
Yeah, Trent Seven, and Trent Seven actually lost the weight and got down to 204. So, if they're doing something with it, I really think that Devlin might actually win this one. But all right, Dakota Kai versus Zoe Starks. I was impressed by this match. I thought it was one of the matches of the night from wrestling. Again, women showed out this week, and we'll tell you why when we get to
1 and 2. Yeah, no, 1 and 2, but definitely both of these matches with the women. God, and I love that Kai won, because I thought Kai was going to lose.
Yeah, no, I thought, because Zoe Stark came in and she's been they put a rocket on her and she's elevating quickly, but that was nice. Stuff? Yeah.
Okay, I haven't. I've heard some really good things, so I got to go back and watch.
No, she's a great performer, in-ring performer. She's hard hitting too, so it's one of those.
On the mic too. Like, I love that video promo thing they did with her last week. She's really she kind of reminds me of a female Daniel Bryan, to the point where the crowd will definitely love her.
Yeah, I agree.
But she can also be a heel because of how tech savvy she is.
Yeah, she there's a lot of possibilities that you could do with her, and like I said, both women did great in this match. Dakota Kai picking up the victory was icing on the cake, and then what made the little cherry on top was Io Shirai just coming out and handing a contract to Raquel, and basically, I'm excited for this match as well. I think they're going to show out at TakeOver.
I wish they all say they don't watch each other's product live, but I know they both have TVs on watching the other thing. I wish AEW stole a page and had Cena do this with Thunder Rosa right after the match. I know people would have like, oh, you're copying. I don't care. You're building your women's division, and
and we'll get into it once we get a little bit more. Start talking about AEW, but all right, great match from the women, and then you got Tommaso Ciampa defeating Marcel Bartel, and then Walter coming. Yes, he is, and I am happy that they gave him his little spotlight this week. Hard hitting match. Fuck, man. Um, I was happy that Tommaso Ciampa got the win, and what made it for me was seeing Walter come back and just demolish Tommaso Ciampa.
Dude.
Walter
And
looks skinnier. Walter looks a little bit more fit.
he does, and the thing is, that power bomb was so perfect back bump. Like you could tell, like it had no effect on Ciampa's neck, and that
Yeah.
just shows how good Walter is. But the way that Ciampa took it, he just fell flat. It looked like he died, but there was no effect on the neck if you go back and watch it. And I loved it.
Yeah.
It shows the safe environment. It shows how good Walter is at keeping his opponent safe too. All of his matches look like someone's going to die, but they're all good.
Yeah, but they're all safe moves. So here's my booking hat is on. But here's the interesting thing. What if we see Finn Balor lose against Karrion Kross, and then you get what's his name? Not the guy. Crap. I keep forgetting these names. I'm having like a real hard time remembering.
Walter and Finn Balor is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. Well, no. Then you get Tommaso Ciampa's partner, Thatcher. Dimitri Thatcher turn on Tommaso Ciampa at Takeover to add him to Imperium, then
do the swerve, dude. I like what Matt said last week. Have Tommaso turn.
What if that happened too? But then you get Finn Balor come after Walter to do unfinished business.
I would love it. I think that's an awesome match. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've been bored of Finn Balor's reign. I think that the Walter match could get him back to that level that I want him at. But yeah, I think Tommaso and Walter are gonna kill it. That's another match that can easily main event a night. Like they have so many matches. If they're gonna do the cruiserweight title match in a ladder match, you can end with that. You can end with Io and Raquel. There's so many matches that can end night one.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities on how night one's going to go, especially since it's on USA. I think they're going to put some of the hard hitting matches on USA. They're going to keep the title match. I think I really think they'll probably put the women's championship, the NXT championship, and the on night two. They'll probably put the North American night one with the tag and the North American championship. Or we might see Greg in the cruiserweights, or they might put. It depends. They might do 3 and 3 because they have 6 titles now, so they might do 3 and 3.
They have 6 titles.
Women's tag, North American, cruiserweight. Oh no, 5. World heavyweight, the NXT championship. Oh no, the NXT Women's Championship, 6.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So you could easily. I think that the cruiserweight match should open one of the nights. I don't care which night. I think you got to open with that. Especially because you get more eyes on Devlin, which might not have been there, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that would be a good spot for him. Yeah, I'm just excited for Mania week altogether. We don't even know what we're doing with the shows. You proposed 2 nights. I proposed a 24-hour live. We're probably not doing the 24-hour thing.
I can't do that.
The 2-night thing would be cool. I don't know if Matt would be up for it, but if we could do Matt one night and Angel or Monty the other night, I think that would be fun.
I think we could do Tuesday night, because Tuesday night would be like a pre-show show to talk about the matches and talk about stuff like that, and do a Friday show, which we'll talk about offline, and do a Friday show to cover AEW, NXT both nights, and then we can go from there, because by the time, if we do it on Thursday, NXT Takeover will be on that Thursday too. So, anyways, let's get back to it. NXT. Then you got LA Knight against LA Knight going against August Gray.
August Gray, yes.
And then
Bronson Reed, fucking Bronson, coming out with LA Knight jacket, putting it on in the middle of the night, ripping it. I promise you, Matt is not a fan of LA Knight. Like, I don't think this was enough to turn Matt.
No, I think it's gonna take a little bit to get him on there, but um, it was a pretty nice match for what it was, and then having Bronson destroy his jacket was pretty funny in my opinion. So it added a little bit more to that storyline, which I think we're gonna probably see a good match between both of them at Takeover as well. So
definitely. The two
then
matches
the
that
NXT,
got canceled this week were the Swerve match. The Swerve
yeah,
and Leon Ruff match got canceled, and then the Ciampa match got kind of like cut in half. So
yeah. And then you got Karrion Kross and Finn Balor losing to Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, which I think Danny Burch got injured.
yeah, it looked like he didn't twist enough on the Saito. A lot of people are saying it's not Kross' fault. They're saying Burch just took it wrong.
Yeah.
But this was a good match. I like having Oni get the pin because I think after that horrible performance on the mic, he needed it.
Yeah.
Dude, Kross, after Scarlett got knocked out, where he just destroyed Finn Balor for those 5 to 10 seconds, was crazy. Do you think we're going to get Demon Finn? Or do you think we're going to get normal Finn?
I think we're going to probably pick, I don't know. That's a good question. If Finn Balor stays in NXT and we get a rematch, I think we will see Demon Finn. But I don't know. Because I really think Karrion is going over, and I don't think they'll let him lose it that quick because they're really high on him right now.
Yeah, I think you just have Demon Finn come out, lose, just so you get that whole thing out of the way, right? And I feel like the Demon Finn thing would get a lot of your mainstream viewers to watch it on Peacock too.
Yeah, true.
Everyone's craving for the Demon, right? So I think you could,
unless they put this match on WrestleMania, the actual main card on WrestleMania, I think we'll probably see something good at Takeover. So that's NXT that's NXT in a nutshell. Let's get to AEW.
The promo Shari will be debuting really soon. I don't know what do you do with that women's division, because Taya has yet to debut. You've still got Dakota, Raquel, Io, Tony, Ember, Shotzi, Candice, Indy there. Like, that's a packed division.
I think you're going to see a lot of teams form, and you'll see something more from the women's division on tag team titles. So it'll give opportunities to everybody.
Do you think any of the girls will go down to Evolution, NXT Evolution? Do you think that's going to happen?
I think the ones that are still a work in progress are. But as far as that goes, I think that's all we'll see.
Progress? Let me ask you that. I think Casey.
I don't know. That's
probably right. Like,
maybe you might see Indy, probably.
Indy, Aaliyah, maybe still, or is
Aaliyah?
Is he like a locker room leader now because he's been there so long?
That's a good question, because they haven't announced it yet, so it's like I don't know if they're gonna actually go through with it, or if they were just running a pilot to see exactly what the feelers were on how it went, and show it to Vince and see if he was like yay or nay, because that adds another show to it. So it's like, but I mean, I like the fact that they're doing it, because it adds, if they do it, it does give a chance to all the Performance Center people to make their name and start building up, because you forget, you still have people like Simone Johnson, training there, and it'll give people time to get in ring action. Yeah. So
Simone, bro, I have to say this, just because my hate, I get a lot of flack for this. I really, really enjoyed Ember and Shotzi at the end of the very end, after the Howling, because fuck the Howling, when Ember was like, your suit is ugly, or your suit sucks, to Robert Stone. I laughed, and I was like,
I laughed.
I was like, all right, maybe you are growing on me. And Shotzi did look really good, but so did Jessi Kamea. Jessi Kamea is sneaking up in my power rankings.
Yeah, Let's get into AW. We're hoping that Angel could hop on, but
Also, Eli, did you read that Simone Johnson is actually doing most of her training with Jesse Kamea? Is what I was reading
yeah,
online.
yeah, her, Indy, and Jesse are really good friends.
Yeah, that'd be cool,
So,
dude. Like, especially if they bring. Sorry, I know I'm just going on a tangent. Especially if they bring like Tamina or Nia down like for a couple episodes, I think it'd definitely help NXT too. You know,
yeah,
not Nia, but Tamina. Yeah. All right, let's get into AEW. Are
I
you coming on?
really, I don't think so.
Okay.
I sent them the link and everything, but he hasn't hopped on. So,
Okay.
all right, let's get into AW. Opening match was Penta El Cero Miedos versus Cody Rhodes. Um, I don't know how I feel about Cody getting the win.
I think it's building. I can't be a hypocrite because last week I said I love when two storylines are told in one match. That happened. So I think the Cody thing will go forward because you had Penta attack him after.
I mean that's the only.
Going to be the one to write Cody off, honestly.
I think so too, because I think that's where it's getting with Moxley and Cody, because both of their wives are about to pop. So, about to give birth.
Yeah, Renee seems like she should have gave birth. Like, it seems like she's been pregnant for really long now.
No, she's due in the next month or two. So, we might see Cody and both Cody and John Moxley get written off of TV pretty soon. I really enjoy. That was the only saving grace this match, which I still like the match. I felt that Penta should have won, but that's just the bias in me because I'm a Penta fan.
Well, I am going to take the tag from Tony Khan and try to sway you on this, okay? So Penta loses, right? We need Penta to get a win. Next week, you do Penta versus Dustin. QT Marshall causes the distraction. Penta gets a win.
Yeah, that could be a good thing. I'm getting like I said, I like the match. I enjoyed the beatdown at the end. I just didn't like the win, but that's if it's building the storyline, then I'm fine with it because it was one good thing that AEW is getting better at is building the storyline, and I thought that's a good way to start it off.
And I'm digging QT Marshall, bro.
Huh?
I'm liking QT as a heel.
Yeah, I really like that, and I'm really liking that they're building this separation from him. So it's going to be interesting to see. Then we get into the backstage segment with the Young Bucks and Alex Morbius. Then Don Callis coming out and saying that they're not elite and giving them the shirt. For once in my life, I was annoyed about him doing that because it seems that for the past couple of weeks, AEW has done nothing but make fun of WWE on that particular subject.
I'm going to side with you here because AEW does it a lot, like the knee slaps. But Impact, I feel like you get it 4 times a match.
Yeah, but that's not the thing that annoys me. I think it's more of the like I didn't mind it. I was like, all right, they're making fun of WWE. Yeah, blah blah blah. Because at the beginning when I had a bitch storm about it, but when you don't make fun, okay, when you don't address the situation like what happened at Revolution with the sparklers, the Gilbert explosion, like I call it, and then you come out and start making fun of WWE because of rules that they have, it's kind of hypocritical. Which they did make fun.
We don't know if it's a rule because Shayna did it right when Asuka got in the ring with that knee.
Yeah, so it's like, is it something that the dirt sheets are just building up, or is it really true? Because you still hear leg slaps on NXT, so it's like, come on, like let's be real. Like people are just finding things to do to make fun of. But either way, I even a lot of the internet people agree with me. Half of it was mixed, half of it was citing make that they enjoyed that segment, and the other half was basically like, why continue to do that stuff like that? Because especially since you don't know if it's true or not, because you still keep hearing the leg slaps. So,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a throwaway segment. Jade Cargill.
I don't know how I feel about. We'll talk about it when we get into the pregnant. Jade Cargill basically destroyed some jobber.
I think it was really a good match to make her look strong, make her look good. That's what it is. I mean, that's what it was.
I want to see Jade and Thunder Rosa.
I want to see that match. I think this was my favorite segment of the night. The MJF coming and introducing the Pinnacle. Tully Blanchard basically saying, "Hey, 34 years ago, I was with the greatest group of guys in history of professional wrestling. I'm gonna finish my career with the greatest group of guys in professional wrestling. You mark my words." That was like nice. I'm glad that he go the four. I'm glad they didn't go the Four Horsemen route, and I really like the name the Pinnacle because they really are like, I mean, top of the line in AEW.
I'm in the minority here. I love the promo by Tully. I love the promo by MJF. Don't get me wrong. I just wish they made a bigger deal about Wardlow killing Jericho. Like when Tully at the beginning said, "Look at Hager, glass bottle to the head. Look at Santana Ortiz, handcuffed. Guevara, steel chaired." You know, he should have said, "Look at Jericho. He felt my beast." You know, or something along those lines.
Yeah, he felt the pain.
Yeah, or something. I don't know if he felt the pain because Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that's a Brock Lesnar, but I think the Pinnacle is a good thing needed. I think Inner Circle kind of having this face turn was well needed for them because they started to get a little bland at the end,
and they still want to play Dutch match.
Yeah, so I think this will be a good way to do that. Which they'll be outnumbered though, because you have Wardlow, MJF, FTR. No,
because
Wardlow, MJF, FTR. Yeah, this 5-on-5. So yeah,
it's 5-on-5.
Sean Spears, so 5-5. Yeah. So I think I'm excited to see where this storyline heads to, and see what happens next with
and
that because
you know damn well, and I kind of pissed Matt not here because I know Matt would try to defend it, but you know damn well they got that idea of MJF and Sean Spears came up with this when they were gambling from the internet. They did not think of that themselves.
Yeah, they didn't.
They did not book a storyline 1 year out. No way.
Yeah, I mean, it could have started. They could use that, but I wouldn't be.
No, but they said it. They said it, and I'm like, no, they didn't. I'm like, AEW did not book 1 year in advance with no writing team.
Well, they did say that they had storylines for up to 3 years, so of course, who knows?
Would you be surprised Tony Khan just got on the internet, went to like Wrestling Inc.? Oh yeah, this happened a year ago. I see this on the message boards.
Maybe, who knows? I mean, he's as much of a mark than we are when it comes down to wrestling. So
yeah.
Anyways, we get into Jurassic Express and Bear Country versus Big Money Matt Hardy, Private Party, and the Butcher and Blade.
Stupid.
I skipped this match. So
the last 2 weeks, or since Revolution, everyone, okay, not everyone, 50% of your fans have been talking about how good Bear Country looks. And you just have them fucking lay an egg here? Like, yeah, I get the teams got distracted, whatever. But why not just have them turn then and just make them a heel tag team straight up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forwarded through this match to Marco Stunt got pinned after everyone did their finish on him, and Matt Hardy hit a twist of fate.
Yeah. meh. Backstage segment with Dasha and Christian Cage. I think this kind of redeemed Christian Cage from last week's thing, him picking up the title.
Because he said he wanted to
Him
win.
saying, yeah. So I like the fact that he called himself the workhorse because it's true. He's when he was in TNA, ECW, WWE, he was always the workhorse of the company. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with him. Not to say that he's gonna. I don't want to see him get pushed fast, but I want to see him if they are able to build the storyline where he eventually gets to Kenny Omega or whoever the World Heavyweight champion is. Then I can see something positive come out of it. The line that stuck out for me was, "Why am I in AEW?" It's simple. I'm in AEW to cement my legacy. I'm in AEW to three, put in, put into actual three simple words: outwork everyone, which is good. It made him look good. It redeemed him from last week. Just make it seem like a tease or that he was going to go directly for the title. So I think it was a good thing. Um, then you get John Moxley and Eddie Kingston versus the Good Brothers. Um, I thought this was a good match. It made both Eddie and Moxley look good at the end. I could have done without Don Callis being there and Kenny Omega interfering, but as part of the storyline of them trying to take out John Moxley, it fits into it. And I like how before they took him out, the Young Bucks came down and we're trying to talk them out of it, and they tried to throw it the too sweet, and the Young Bucks were kind of like declining the too sweet. They declined the too sweet. So I think we're gonna eventually see, since the Good Brothers lost the TNA title, the Impact titles. I think we're probably gonna see the Good Brothers versus the Young Bucks eventually.
So this is what I was talking about when I said I want to talk about this later. They have too many moving parts in the storyline. Like Christian's getting involved, but why didn't Christian come out to make the save? Then you have the Young Bucks who came out to make the save, but why didn't they make the save when Kingston got stomped? But
yeah,
I don't get it. You're building sympathy for Kingston, but I don't think you need to because you already did that the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's just they're kind of diluting the storyline. They should have ran with it last week.
We don't need to see the Good Brothers every week. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I don't think we need to see the Good Brothers every week.
No, I mean, when is this? Because think about it. It goes back to like skipping to like bringing Impact back, talking about Impact. They lost the titles. They're getting
like there's no benefit to TNA here.
Yeah, there's not. And then what are you gonna do? Because like you kind of book yourself in a corner with dealing with Kenny Omega, because Kenny Omega is kind of like in 5 storylines in 2 companies. You got him, facing Rich Swann for the winner take all title match. Then you got him over here trying to deal with John Moxley, and then you got Christian. You're breaking up with the Young Bucks. Then Christian Cage is over there waiting his time. So it's like you got too many moving parts. And what happens if he does Eddie Kingston? And then what happens if he wins both titles? Then what you're going to do, you kind of book yourself into a corner with this one because of the fact that you don't have you kind of don't have a definite way out. Because if Rich Swann wins the AEW title, it just goes into many possibilities.
I don't know how you do this, but the way last week Don Callis was like, I'm the one that fired you from Impact, So maybe you have Kingston cost Omega the match, but then everything we're reading online is there's not going to be a screwy finish. So I don't know.
It's like I said, it goes back to what Justin also said. Me and him agreed on it. You book yourself into a corner with this. You really have no way to pull yourself out of it if you want to. Even if you do a screwy finish with the winner take all match, like who's gonna win? Like, is it a double disqualification? What is it? Because you want a definite end to that, and if you don't do it, then you kind of put the fans that are watching it. They're gonna be like, then why did you build this match and you're giving us a screwy finish? It'll be kind of like a WWE style match that back in the day when they did screwy finishes and you pissed off the audience.
It would be an old school. It would be what people refer to as a Dixie finish, like, or a Russo finish.
Yeah, like a Russo finish or a Dixie finish. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Then we had the moving on. We had the Tony Schiavone interviewing Darby Allin and Sting. Then you had Taz come out, and are we seeing a breakup of the Team Taz?
It's what I said last week, except instead of Ricky, they used Brian Cage.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Sting every week. God damn it.
You're gonna see him. It's no advanced buts about it.
If the biggest Sting mark, Matt, doesn't want to see Sting every week, we don't need to see Sting every week.
You don't. You really don't. He did what he had to do. Now, unless he's managing Darby, then then that's good. But I don't know. But then you also had Lance Archer come out and basically kind of like be like, why are you interviewing him? Like, I'm taking my time. Like, so it's like, it's one of those things that, again, they booked themselves into a corner with this one. Because what are you going to do?
Would this have been better if Sting wasn't there? You have Brian Cage say the same thing, but you have him say it about Darby and Sting. And then, I don't know. This is what happens when you don't have writers.
No, you're right. It's one of those things that, like, they're doing. So, in my opinion, what they're doing is booking old school WCW, kind of mixed in with WWE, where you have your legends come out, and when you have your legends come out, you use them to the best of their capability. At this point, Sting should have been treated like an Undertaker type of attraction, where it's every once in a while. Now that they have him on TV weekly, it's kind of like diluting that. You're kind of like, if you're not wrestling, if you're not doing anything positive while you're out there, or anything to steal the show or make an impact on the show, you're just standing out there just because.
I don't get it, because Jake the Snake is doing great, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the weenie.
They're doing good. Yeah, but they're doing good booking him.
Elias, you forgot your hot dog bun at home, because you're a weenie. But that was so unnecessary.
Anyways, I thought that the segment went good for a while. They just need to figure out what they're going to do with that, because the TNT title hasn't been defended in a couple of weeks, and it wasn't defended.
That's good. Darby mentioned it.
Yeah, he's going against John Silver,
which that's going to be phenomenal. But God,
I'm
another L.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, that was that.
Segment, though. I want to talk about that Dark Order backstage segment.
Yeah.
Evil Uno's like, so who's going to take the title shot? And -1, aka Brody Lee's son, comes out and he's like, me. And Evil Uno's never made me laugh, but he was like, maybe in like 10 years, And I was like, oh, yeah, that's funny. And then they give it to John Silver, which I do like, because John Silver can have a great match. He always does. But it's going to be him losing. I kind of wish they gave it to Alex Reynolds, because he got punked last week in the whole lawnmower segment. And Alex Reynolds can afford a loss, I think. I don't think John Silver can afford a loss on this stage right now, because he's getting so over.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. I think it's one of those ones, like I said, they kind of put themselves into a corner. But, hey, if they make him look good, then I don't mind, because I really think this match between him and Darby is going to be pretty good. He's looked really good these past couple of weeks. He looked really good in the tag team battle royale. So we'll see. Then you had Rey Fenix versus Angelico, which was it
was a good match.
It was a good match. Yeah. Let's talk about the main event. So
really quick. Scorpio Sky's back recorded segment. I think they made up for whatever the hell he was saying on the mic a couple weeks ago. Like,
I agree.
That horrible mic work. Like, I love AEW when it's recorded. It wasn't live this week. I love when they have all the kinks worked out. It's such a good program, and
yeah,
I think Scorpio Sky will get involved in the TNT title match. Where I want to see this go, I want to see Scorpio Sky come out, attack John Silver and Darby, and then maybe the following week we get Scorpio and Lance Archer versus John Silver and Darby, and you can go from there. But then again, it's the whole thing. None of these guys need to take an L right now.
Yeah, because they're really looking good. Brian Cage just came off a loss. Lance Archer just came off a loss. So
Scorpio Sky, John Silver,
Scorpio Sky came off a loss and stuff like that. So, all right, let's get into the main event. So I'm gonna give you my overall thoughts on this. This is the first time I could actually say AEW did something right with their women. First of a kind match that we've seen in years. We haven't seen this much carnage in wrestling with the women specifically. Did WWE, even Impact, we haven't seen that in a minute. Both women did great. I really think that Britt Baker should have won. That would have added a little heat on her, and that would have added a little bit more. But I think that both of them look phenomenal. The freaking power bomb on the thumbtacks was my favorite part of the match because she took the thumbtacks, and then that ladder to the face, that was nasty. So,
dude, when she had the lockjaw on, and the announcer did a really good point. Even if Thunder Rosa gets to the ropes, he doesn't have to break it up. So you see Thunder Rosa roll to where Britt's back goes back into the tacks, causing the hold to be broken. I thought it was a really good spot. The Thunder Rosa driver off the apron through the table.
Yeah.
You know Thunder Rosa took care of her because Britt Baker actually landed on top of Thunder Rosa at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But they were. But this is what I said. It's good that it was pre-recorded because when they got the camera down there, Britt was laying flat on her back, which is how it should be. That's how you.
Well, Thunder Rosa threw her off herself and put her on the ground like that, and they took the table off so they could get the pin. I thought it was a great finish. I thought it was a good. I like how they used Reba or Rebel on it and had her do that table spot. I thought it added a little measure of taking out her help.
You don't see a lot of matches end in that spot where it ended, so I really like that too.
Yeah, man, that was hard hitting. Britt Baker smashed chair on Thunder Rosa's abdomen. The flipping senton. Then when Thunder Rosa threw Britt Baker onto the ladder. There's plenty of spots in this match that I liked.
Was this the best AEW main event?
I think so. In a while.
Will Matt think it's too violent?
No, I think he'll think it's the right kind of violent.
I think Matt will think it's too violent. But
I don't know.
It's definitely like they pushed the limits to what TV-14 could go to on TNT.
Yeah. I agree on that.
And that curb stomp on the stairs too.
That one on the chair.
Yeah,
I think Seth Rollins would have been proud.
The stairs.
Yeah, on the stairs and then on the chair. I think Seth Rollins would have been proud of that.
Really good job selling this match too. Yeah.
Yeah. I tweeted I tweeted Tony Khan. That was funny. He didn't respond to me. But it's okay. It's okay. I'll get over it. Tony Khan, if you're listening, you didn't respond to my tweet, sir. But I did.
Tony,
I did.
Tony, what's Tony doing, dude? You're over here doing a podcast with one of his fellow Pakistani brothers and he still can't take the time out of his day to tweet you back.
So I did put AEW showed how much pride and determination the women's division has. Please give them more screen time so the magic can continue to happen. Tonight is a great example of how much pride and grind these ladies put every single week. Let the main event at a pay-per-view.
Okay, I completely agree with everything you said. And I'm going to switch the subject here because I mentioned this in the group and no one replied to me, which I was kind of irritated because I think I made a very good point. AEW very rarely repeats matches. You agree, right? Unless they're going to build a feud out of it, they very rarely replay match, do the same match again.
Yeah.
They are doing it with Tay Conti and Nyla. And with how hot the Dark Order is right now, I think that's going to be a feud.
Eventually.
Who broke Anna Jay's shoulder? We don't know yet, right? Or
no, I think she got injured in training.
You could easily have the storyline be Nyla saying she did it, right?
Yeah.
I think Tay Conti is money. I think Tay Conti's number 4 or number 5 in my power ranking for AEW women. I think as though Britt Baker, Shida, Thunder Rosa, and then Tay Conti would be right there in no particular order. But I think Tay Conti's right at 4 or 5. I think this could elevate Tay Conti to 2 or 3. Because she's getting a lot of love on Twitter for the coming out with -1 stuff. I know you watched Dark and Elevation, so I'm sure you saw it. She's getting a lot of love for it. I would love to see Vicky run down -1 and -1 do some smart ass comment back to Vicky Guerrero. I think there's many ways you can go to build this feud, and I think you put Tay Conti over because I don't think Nyla needs it.
No, I agree. I think this is something that if you're going to build up a star, build up Tay Conti. I think she's one of the most experienced ones, and she has great charisma, and she's got a lot of fan support. So you build her up and then go from there. And I think you could strap a rocket to her, and she'll be a main event player eventually. So, but regardless, great match from the women. Great match from the women at both NXT and AEW. Shouts out to Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. The output on the show last night, and
2 best matches of the night, followed by Theory and Lumis, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's it. Unless we got anything else to say before we go.
No, just keep watching. We're gonna do something big for Mania Week. We just don't know what yet. We're like WWE. We pulled our tickets back, and we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do.
Oh, by the way, tickets are available today for WrestleMania. So if you're gonna go to WrestleMania, yep, 25,000,
and you get a pod. Ooh,
and a free face mask.
But if you want the WWE one, you got to pay.
There you go. You got to pay anywhere from $35,000 to $5,000. Anyways, thank you for joining us this week. I know we went kind of a little bit. Well, we hit the time mark. We didn't really go over time. So, thank you for joining us. Follow us on Facebook at Weekly Wrestling Heat. Follow us on YouTube, Weekly Wrestling Heat. Follow us on Instagram, Weekly Wrestling Heat. Follow us on Twitch at Weekly Wrestling Heat TV. You can rewatch this episode there. You can rewatch this episode on YouTube and catch us on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify podcasting as well, where this will be uploaded, audio version of it. If you don't want to look at our beautiful faces, there's always that option of you could go into the podcast and listen to our rants. Join us next week. Have to come back. Hopefully, will be a 3-man group this next week. For WrestleMania week, we will be possibly doing 2 shows. So we'll work the kinks out and let y'all know when it happens. We'll most definitely. Yeah, way off the table. I'm not doing 24 hours. You could do 24 hours, but I'm not doing 24 hours.
Okay.
I'll set you up where you could do 24 hours. I'll just give you everything that you need and let you do 24 hours of everything, but I'm not doing 24 hours. I have a wife and a kid. I don't think my wife would be too happy. And plus, I got to work. So
I feel you.
So, all right. Well, from everybody here at Weekly Wrestling Heat, we are out. Talk to you later. Peace and enjoy your weekend, guys.